I've seen many people asking me this, and I don't blame you guys, because it's certainly a very complicated situation. How will the FIFA second place World Cup qualifying teams work in Africa? How can a team finish second and still get a place on that plane? And I've got to tell you guys, the seats are running out. People are getting their boarding passes. People are checking in. People are getting their luggage on board. The places are going thick and fast, so get yours in quick, because there's only one spot, and it's a big if to get that one spot if you come second in your FIFA World Cup qualifying group. Many people that have not liked the new qualification format in Africa because they think some of the jeopardy has gone away. One, be thankful the qualification was not stressful and strained on the heart. And two, wait till you see these playoffs to come. Because I'm telling you, if your nation is one of the 4 African nations in these World Cup qualifying playoffs, you're going to be in for one hell of a roller coaster ride. And I'm about to tell you how and why. So this is how it's going to work. There are 9 groups in the African qualifiers. The group winners will all go. That's your 9. There's one more lucrative spot potentially still up for grabs from Africa, and this is how you get it. By the way, we still don't know, and I keep saying, how it's going to work for Morocco's group in the second place there, because they're playing less games in that group, so it's unfair on the likes of Tanzania, Niger and Zambia. How are they going to get a second place spot when the other groups are having more matches played, 2 matches more? I still think maybe the other groups, their results against the team that comes last won't count. And many people have smashed the likes of Chad, Sao Tome, Somalia, and got the points that way. That's going to have huge ramifications on the second place ranking. But let's not get too glossed over that yet. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Out of the 9 teams that come second, the 4 best will go forward to the playoffs. So what are these playoffs? Well, let's say it's Gabon, Burkina Faso, DR Congo and Nigeria or Cameroon or whatever. 4 of the best 9 go to these playoffs. If you haven't got in the best 4, if you've come second, it doesn't matter. So 5 teams that come second aren't even going to be in these playoffs. The 4 teams, the best 4 teams that finish second, will take part in a little mini tournament. There'll be 2 semi-finals and a final. So let's say it's Gabon against Burkina Faso, it's Nigeria against Congo, and then it'll be Gabon against Congo in the final. So a little tournament will take place in November 2025, I think. So the best 4, we're going to play a tournament. So let's say it's DR Congo that win that mini tournament. So they've come second, right, to Senegal. And let's say they've done this tournament. They don't have to beat a Gabon and potentially a Nigeria or a Cameroon. They're still not in the World Cup yet. Once you win that playoff, you then go forward to what is the Intercontinental playoffs. Even more playoffs. And that's another 2 games. So if you finish second in your group, you've got to play 4 playoff games to get to the World Cup. That's half the qualifying campaign. Bloody hell. So listen, 4 games you got to do if you want to get to the World Cup coming second. You've got to beat 2 African sides that also come second. You're then put through to an Intercontinental playoff. Now, it could be 3 games because it's all going to be done by FIFA ranking. There are 6 teams in these Intercontinental playoffs. I think 2 from North America, 1 from South America, which is Bolivia, we know that. 1 from Oceania, which is New Caledonia, we know that. 1 from Africa as well. There's going to be no European teams in these playoffs. And 1 from Asia as well. So that's the situation there. Now, they're going to sort it out by FIFA ranking. The 4 lowest teams in terms of FIFA ranking are going to play a semi-final. The 2 best FIFA ranked sides will be automatically put through to the Intercontinental playoff final. It's confusing, I know, stay with me. So, let's say Bolivia play New Caledonia. The winner of that will then play the winner from Africa. So, potentially, a DR Congo will have to beat Gabon, Cameroon, and then Bolivia to get to the World Cup. Now, the Intercontinental part might be the easiest part because you'd rather play Bolivia and New Caledonia than a Cameroon or a Nigeria, right? But those Intercontinental playoffs are going to be one-off games in Mexico. So they're going to have to go all the way to Mexico, of course, one of the countries hosting the World Cup next summer, to play these games. I know it's going to be tough. But the African sides will be hoping that low-ranked FIFA nations will get into these playoffs because if they're higher than them, you're going to have to play a semi-final in those Intercontinental playoffs. So it's very, very confusing. Now, let's assume let's just assume that who goes where. If the Asian team is Iraq, if the African team's Congo, if you've got Jamaica and Curacao from CONCACAF, you've got Bolivia and you've got New Caledonia. Okay, would you say the African team is the best team there? Yeah, I think you would. So I think whoever wins the African playoffs in terms of from CAF should go to the World Cup, barring a disaster losing to Bolivia or whatever, or New Caledonia or Iraq, or one of these sides. So yeah, so very confusing. That's how you get your ticket from the second spot. I think the African sides bear a good chance. I think you're going to see 10 teams from Africa at the World Cup. Even if it was Gabon or Mozambique that got put forward, I think they'd beat an Iraq, a New Caledonia, a Mozambique, a Jamaica, a Trinidad, a Honduras. I think we're good enough to do that. So yeah, stressful, I know. The African section's probably going to be the toughest to watch. That's how it's going to work. Confusing, yes, but that's the system. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below of who's going to win these Intercontinental playoffs. Are you more or less confident of being in it? And yeah, we'll see you next time.